Business is booming. But you know what really helped? Xero, the accounting platform for small businesses. I used to think spreadsheets were just part of it. Ugh. But real-time cash flow? Wow. Invoices that chase themselves? Even better. Books that automate? That's a big one. And I can keep track from my phone while I get the job done. No spreadsheet in sight. What a life. Do right by yourself and your business and search XERO for your free trial. Conditions apply. Business is booming. But you know what really helped? Xero, the accounting platform for small businesses. I used to think unpaid bills were just part of it. Ugh. But batch payments? Wow. Automated accounts payable? Even better. All in one place. That's a big one. And I can keep track from my phone while I get the job done. No bills in sight. What a life. Do right by yourself and your business and search XERO for your free trial. Conditions apply.
Blowing ad budget on metrics that look great till the CFO sees them? That's bull spend. And marketers are calling it out in Dashboard Confessions.
I remember telling my boss, it'll be good for the brand, when leads were slow. Yeah, it wasn't.
Cut the bull spend. LinkedIn lets you target by company, job title, and more. Advertise on LinkedIn. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a $250 credit. Go to linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tech Magic. I'm your host, Cathy Hackle. This is the podcast where we talk about technology, AI, spatial computing, hardware, even Formula One tech, and everything in between. I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Lee. Lee, how you doing?
I'm great. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was good. It was very low-key. I got back on Wednesday for my trip to the Middle East, to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and Qatar. And we can talk about a little bit about what's going on in that part of the world as well. But no, I got back on Wednesday before Thanksgiving, got to see my kids. I am divorced, so they spent Thanksgiving with their dad. But I got to see them Wednesday night, so that was really nice. So I just spent it with friends, and it was super nice. I had a really, really good time with just surrounded by friends and people I love. So
yeah, that's
how
nice.
about you?
We had a couple of friends come over. It wasn't anything big. We try to do all of our family traveling during like the Christmas holidays. And so we do kind of stay home for Thanksgiving, and we kind of try to open our home to anyone who doesn't have a place to go for Thanksgiving that's a friend of ours. And thankfully, most of our friends had places to be for Thanksgiving. So it was very small this year. Some of our Thanksgivings have been really big. But this year was just a couple of friends, and it was great. It was really good. They're actually, the people who came were also podcasters. So we talked about podcasting.
Oh my gosh.
It was
okay. Have they listened to ours? Like, do they know about our podcast? Okay, so
course.
did they like our podcast?
Yeah.
Hello, listeners.
Yeah. It was good though. We had a really great time. It was just kind of quiet and chilly and everything it was supposed to be. So no.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, I had an amazing time in Saudi Arabia and also in Qatar. Oh my gosh, it was just a whirlwind, and I have met so many people and made so many connections. There's so many things that are happening in that area. And the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is, opening up a lot more, I would say. Technology-wise, like they're really focused on tech and emerging tech in the future, which as a futurist, I love. They're also kind of, evolving and changing quite a bit. We ended up going to a private club with members. They even had like a dance club where you could dance. It was kind of like a very different experience of Saudi that I had. Every time I go, I keep, having a better experience. And then Qatar really impressed me. It was my first time there. Went to Doha, super modern. I mean, the hotels were gorgeous. Everything was amazing. So many events happening. When I was there, it was the Arabia Fashion Fun, big event. So everyone in fashion, from Anna Wintour to Giselle to you name it, whichever designer was there. So I didn't go to that necessarily, went to some side events, but got to meet a lot of those folks. And then also UFC had UFC Fight Night.
Oh, right.
Yeah. The same night. So I got to actually meet some of the UFC fighters that were staying at the Ritz. So it was just quite eventful. So much happening over there, and got to meet a lot of expats as well that live in Qatar and KSA. And I'm actually heading back to the region. So
it's really interesting to watch like the events kind of coincide there with events happening. Because I've always thought, since all of these changes have been happening, that there's this big push for that region of the world to kind of become that region's Las Vegas, right? With like the entertainment and like you said, bringing UFC and things like that over there. And simultaneously, while all of that's happening over there, Las Vegas has like F1 racing and like all this stuff. So I feel like there's kind of this, which has very similar demographics of people who are going to go to those events. So I feel like there's kind of this pull for attention right now. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how these things play out, especially, I mean, I'm keeping a close eye on it just because of the amount of investment they've made into esports.
Yeah. Well, I will tell you this. You are right in the sense that, so the last race, because I'm a big Formula One fan.
Right.
And let's talk a little bit about that, because there is a big technological part to it. So the last, let's say, North America race is Las Vegas. Then they head over to Qatar, which just passed, and they could have like determined the championship, but it didn't. And now it goes to Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi is the last race of the season, let's say, of the calendar. And sometimes sometimes who the winner gets decided before that, but this time it's going to come down to the wire in Abu Dhabi, and we're going to find out who the winner of the race is. And this is the crazy thing. There's so much tech that goes into F1 racing. If anyone's a fan, I'm a huge fan. I've been a McLaren fan for, I think it's been like 2 years. This year was crazy for McLaren, but I think more and more people are starting to get into it. There's a whole part of technology that comes with the car, the driver. Next year, I'll tell you this, next year, F1 has tons of changes coming to it. New tracks, new standards, new motors for the cars, even a new team, which as much as I love McLaren, I'm actually going to switch my allegiance to Cadillac, which is the first American team, real American, like full on American team. So
I find this fandom from you to be so ironic and interesting, because for those who don't know, Cathy is notorious for hating to drive. This is like listening to someone who doesn't like to gamble watch the World Series of Poker, right? Like, it just doesn't make any sense that you are such an F1 fan.
Yeah, that's so funny. I never thought about it that way. I hate driving. Like, you know me.
It.
I absolutely. Oh my gosh. Oh my. Any man that dates me knows that. Like, they're picking me up and dropping me off because I drive very, like, I don't enjoy it. So,
yeah, no, and honestly, anytime we go to like a convention or something like that, not only do I get stuck driving because Cathy refuses to, but in the off chance I would prefer if I'm driving, because I don't know how.
You've never seen me drive.
I've never seen you.
Like, yeah, I have the need for speed. Now, I'm not a bad driver. I just do not enjoy it. So, but that's interesting. I never thought about it because I do enjoy. I mean, I love, and it's interesting because a lot of people have just started getting into F1. I've liked it for a long time. I really got into it for the last 2 years, but I've been watching since like the early, like 2010s or something.
Yeah.
And there was a Colombian driver called Montoya, and that's where my brother and my dad started, and they're big fans of it. So, but yeah, now I'm like going to the Grand Prix, and it's such an experience. I think it's the experience. It's the drama of the cars, the drama between the drivers and the teams.
Sure, yeah.
There's so much, and there's so much tech. The funny thing is, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix is going to be this Sunday. So this episode drops on Wednesday. Sunday is when everything gets decided. And 2 weeks ago in Abu Dhabi, they had an autonomous race. Similar to F1,
really?
Autonomous cars, yes.
Okay, so that's like a really big old remote control car race. That's just RC car race.
I mean, I had several of my AI influencer friends, AI thought leader friends there. I watched some of their coverage. I mean, it's fun and it's exciting. The thing is, like, there's an element of drama that comes with the teams, the humans lifting in the car, like doing all these sorts of things, the drivers, the drama. There's something, and also there's a part of that which is like, it's risky. Like, if they crash into the side, like if something happens to the driver, like that's bad. If these cars that are autonomous crash into the wall, yeah, sorry for the car. You just,
it's money. It's not a life, right?
Yeah, it's money. It's not a life, which I'm not saying that that's like, ooh, let's watch it so someone like gets hurt. But there's an element of drama, of suspense, of like humanity to it that I don't think is going anywhere. I mean, I would, if someone invited me to the autonomous race, I would go because I am a race car fan, but still, I don't know.
Yeah, but I think like when you get into the autonomous racing stuff, the stakes are from a safety perspective lower, but also maybe more exciting because of that. Because it's kind of like watching Robot Wars. I don't remember like when those came out. The whole goal was to watch those robots rip each other apart, right? Like that was why I enjoyed it. And those have become such an integral part of like STEM education, and like there's competitions for high school teams and things like that. And I try to keep a close eye on that. I think I would actually be more apt to watch an autonomous race than I would a human-driven one.
Really?
I would.
That is really interesting.
Because the whole idea of watching like $100,000 car just smash itself into a wall, but no one is in it.
No one's getting hurt. No one's getting hurt.
Like there's something way more appealing to me about that.
Because like I feel like next year with the new Cadillac team, it's Checo Perez and Bottas, which are like two drivers that I find very, very, very interesting. I'm like, part of the reason I'm supporting Cadillac next year is because it's the American kind of like team in some ways, but also I love the drivers. So there's this element. So I don't know if I would watch just for the car. Right?
Oh, I totally
I don't
would.
know. I don't know if I would. There's an element there of the driver. And so that's really interesting.
I would pay to go see an autonomous race between a Tesla S-Class and a Waymo. Just go at it. Which one can get through? Like, and make it an obstacle course, right? Like, make it hard. I would love to watch that. Just to the perspective of which you would call as a taxi after that would go through the roof for me.
That is so true. That's really interesting. But yeah, the world of motorsports and race car driving is massive. There's F1, F2, there's Formula E, autonomous now. Like, there's a lot going on. But yeah, I'm going to the Abu Dhabi race. You'll be hearing a lot more about the stuff I'm doing with several teams and with F1 in general next year. So I'll continue doing that. Maybe we'll go to a race together.
Speaking of self-driving vehicles.
Yes.
This came across today, which is December 1st, because we're kind of delayed when we record here. But NVIDIA unveiled that, and I actually am not sure how to pronounce this, AlphaMoor? Mayo? Like mayonnaise? I don't know. It's AlphaMoor R1. This is actually a vision language model.
Yay, vision language models.
Which I know you're super hyped about.
Yes.
But this is specifically an open source software for self-driving car development.
Amazing.
That is way sooner than I ever expected to see something like that open sourced.
Well, how good is it though? I mean, we don't like. I guess technically, I don't know.
If it can make a car go forward and backwards, and it's open source to develop on it, this is
and it's NVIDIA. It's probably trained on Omniverse. It's got to be trained on like.
Yeah, it did not say what it was trained on. I can do more digging. We'll have more information about this next week because I literally came up on my news feed before we started the show. But the very fact that there is an open source software being released by NVIDIA specifically for self-driving car development, this is like, I'm a big fan of open sourcing, not just in the freedom of information side of it, but just the expeditiousness and being able to check code on a larger scale. It makes a safer, more secure, stabilized code base. And a lot of larger tech companies know this. I mean, Meta is undeniably probably one of the unsung heroes of open source code bases. They close source where there's profits for sure. But at the end of the day, a lot of stuff that they develop and put out, they do it for that reason, especially like when it comes to what builds the web. So seeing a self-driving car a vision language model is
very
amazing
exciting
to see.
Yeah,
that
let's definitely check it out. You know, one really interesting thing now that you're mentioning the vision action models, and it's not about self-driving cars, but when I was in Doha, so I was there to keynote Mobile World Congress's inaugural event in the Middle East, which was in Qatar, and I did a keynote followed by the CEO, I can't remember, the president of Cohere AI, and then the CEO of Agility Robotics, Peggy Johnson. Peggy used to be the CEO of Magic Leap. She used to be at Microsoft, really high up at Microsoft, then went to be the CEO of Magic Leap. Now she's the CEO of Agility Robotics. And they're the first robotics company to start deploying robots in like humanoid robots in warehouses. So they're already doing a lot of that work And obviously these are trained on vision action models and world models, which are critical for that spatial intelligence and for kind of that convergence.
Well, one of the thing in this open source that I'm looking at here that's interesting, and I think that it's a good approach that would go into like humanoid robots as well, because you and I have had a lot of really interesting conversations about like how do you make this type of thing safer, right? One of the things that this particular platform does is it allows the system to think out loud. So it's saying what it's seeing out loud, right? Like, so you can double check. This is more of a training approach. So as the vehicle is going, it can be adopted into a vehicle that's maybe already autonomous, and it can double check itself. Did it really see that fire hydrant? Did it not see that stop sign? My go-to when I tell people like, yeah, I trust Waymo to drive a car more than I trust a human, because that sounds like a ridiculous statement. But the first time I ever rented a Waymo, my drive through Los Angeles, which is notorious for having the worst traffic in the world, was perfectly fine. I called a Lyft, and nothing against Lyft. This is about humanoid drivers, right? Like actual human drivers as opposed to robots. The dude blew through a stop sign. Now, it was an accident. It was not, that stop sign wasn't well visible. I don't necessarily blame the driver, but there is a part of me that thinks the Waymo might have saw it.
The Waymo would have stopped. Yeah.
But this would have said it out loud.
But this is the interesting part. And I think I brought this up before to you and maybe on the show, is that I remember talking at TED to, we were having a conversation about human computer interaction. And there were these young women in their 20s from LA, and they're like, oh, we prefer taking Waymo because we feel safer.
Yes.
You know, because it's not a human driver. So there's that element to it I think a lot of people are not thinking about. It's like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, you're not the first person to say that. I talked to some of my friends in Los Angeles, and that was a resounding answer from a lot of women that I talked there, which, as you know, you're middle-aged white dude, you don't think about it.
You're not thinking about
like,
that, right? But as women, like, like it's interesting. When they said that, then I'm like, okay, yeah, I feel like if I can take Waymo, I will.
Yeah. And I think that autonomous driving, it's one of those technologies that actually is the future.
Well, I cannot wait. I cannot wait to truly have a fully autonomous. I mean, literally,
I agree.
Just
It felt like what I call a Back to the Future moment, where that scene in Back to the Future 2 where they step out into the future and you see it for the first time and it's a glimpse. When that car pulled up and it had my name on the marquee spinning around at the top, and then it talked to me through everything, I was just like, oh, I didn't think that I'd see this. I liken it to the first time that I tried like modern virtual reality. It just really was that shock and awe moment that did me in. But it is funny to hear how much people talk about other technologies that I'm not convinced of yet. And then
like
just a lot of what generative AI does, right? Like, Like that seems to be, as we make our news rundowns for this show, it's so much of that over and over and over again. And I try to stay in the middle of like all technology is tools and it's what humans do with it. But it does surprise me that we don't hear more about massive advances like this, because I feel like it's way more impactful.
It's way more important, significant for the world. I will say this, December 1st, 3 years ago.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Is when ChatGPT dropped.
Okay, so first off, I guess happy birthday, ChatGPT.
I should talk to Chad and ask him, happy birthday, Chad.
Yeah, happy
You're 3? Oh, no.
Yikes. Am I the only person who feels like it's been a lot longer?
I think a lot of people do. It feels like a lot longer.
Like there's almost an exhaustion where I'm just like, it's only been 3.
I'm exhausted.
It's only been 3 years? Yeah. Holy moly. We weren't having these I feel like I've been having these conversations for 3 years with people. I feel like I've been seeing the AI is taking everyone's job for way more than 3 years.
Way more than that, but yeah.
Yeah, there's a part of me that, and I think we kind of tend to forget the conversations around the AIs that came before.
Mm-hmm.
There was a ton of image generation tools and contents that came out before ChatGPT, and there will be more afterwards. Even 11 Labs, I think I was researching 11 Labs.
Yeah, synesthesia, 11 Labs. I mean, those were around before.
Yeah.
Before.
So it is kind of surprising how they've kind of become the noun and the verb at the same time. Mm-hmm. They kind of Googled their way into it.
Yeah.
But we'll see how the next 3 years go. God, that's going to be, it feels like a slog saying it out loud.
I don't even know what the next, I mean, I'm a futurist and I can kind of see around corners, but my gosh.
it just feels a little.
I can see around corners around certain things, but yeah, this is like so intense.
How much longer do you think like people can put up with the conversation? The technology is not going away. Let me be very clear on that. But
I think there will be, I don't use the term bubble. I think there's a market correction that's due at some point.
Right.
A market correction will happen. I think that will change some of the conversation. I don't know. Are we going to keep talking about generative AI and large language models? No, I think we'll eventually move into vision action models, world models, more of this physical AI, like even agentic into physical AI, where the autonomous vehicles, the humanoid robots, the all sorts of connected intelligence, newer glasses and devices, like we'll eventually move into that conversation. I mean, I don't know. I don't think you saw this. There's actually footage from a conference, I can't remember where, of Johnny Ive and Sam Altman talking about the device that they're working on. It's supposed to be screenless and will bring us a lot of joy.
Is it just a book?
I don't know. I do not know.
Reading is fundamental, kids. We're going back to books. Let
me see. Yeah, so they're working on apparently something. Yes, it's supposed to be new screenless AI device will make people feel joy.
That does not compute. I really hope it's not like biotech. I really hope it's not biotech. I can't imagine what that would be.
It can't be a projection because that did not work for Humane.
No, that doesn't work. Screenless.
It's gotta be audio. There's audio in this thing. Whatever is it?
I mean, that's what the Meta Ray-Bans were originally screenless, right? It wasn't until this year.
I mean, the original Bose glasses were.
Right, but they didn't have the AI capabilities built into it, the cameras
display
and things like that, right? I feel like the first screenless wearable AI-driven technology that was a success, or at least a moderate success, was the Meta Ray-Bans, even up to like version 2. So maybe it's something like that, which you had been predicting Apple would get into that kind of space.
Let's see. I mean, I want to pay more attention to what they said, but they did say screenless. So that gives us a little bit of an idea what it could be. But it is this race towards the hardware. And everyone's like, why do people care? And I said this on stage at Mobile World Congress, whoever owns the hardware, whoever creates the hardware has access to the data, might even own the data, depending on terms of service. That's what creates vision action models, world models for that future state.
And that's why NVIDIA is so valuable right now. 100%. I totally agree with that statement. I think that's the one thing where NVIDIA found a real market share of we're going to invest in other places so that market share can grow as long as we are the hardware it runs on. That was what was the brilliance of Apple in the 90s. Or not Apple, I'm sorry. Intel in the 90s.
Intel, yeah.
That
Intel
whole
inside.
concept of just get into the machine and we'll handle the rest. I definitely see NVIDIA making those strides, and they're making investments. I've never seen a company make investments as fast as NVIDIA.
Whew. Well, they have so much cash. They have so much money they can. Like, they can turn around and make these investments quite fast. I will say, do you want to jump to other hardware news? Because I think it's relevant.
Go for it.
All right. So I've been also watching footage from Alibaba and folks on the ground in China and Hong Kong and other places. The Quark glasses. So Alibaba has released the Quark AR glasses. They seem to be giving Meta AI display glasses a run for their money. So I haven't tried them. I don't have access to the Quark glasses. I would like to try them, especially
I've not even heard of this. This hasn't popped up for me. I've missed this entirely.
Yeah, so they're definitely a big competitor. I mean, it's Alibaba. So like from a market standpoint, we'll have to see. I don't believe you can get those in the United States. I'm not sure.
See, this is
not
the
quite
thing
sure about that, to be honest.
I keep having to like remind people who see hardware growth online that not everything, and this is kind of getting to a point where it needs to be discussed, where there are in different markets that don't get shipped to the United States, there is a hardware growth happening right now that we are starting to feel a little bit behind. Pico is releasing new VR hardware. We're never going to see it because their parent company is ByteDance, and they can't, for whatever, probably political reason, can't get into the United States. I'm assuming that that's the case because ByteDance has a weird relationship with the United States. It's kind of a strange one.
Yeah, I don't even know who owns TikTok right now. Did they ever figure that out? I have no idea. I don't even know.
Maybe it's you. I have no idea. I have no idea.
I don't know.
But I've even seen some of the new stuff that Huawei's putting out, which Huawei is a blacklisted device in the United States. We don't get Huawei devices. We can't access their marketplace if we did get it. But they're putting out some foldable hardware that is just stunning. And I'm watching some of these things happen and go, there's no one delivering to the United States that is making hardware this innovative, right? Like design from a design perspective. Is the hardware itself that innovative? It's foldable displays, but the design that they put to it that I've seen has been really brilliant, but we're not getting it anytime soon.
You bring up a good point. So right before I did my keynote, so in the keynotes that were in the afternoon at Mobile World Congress, right before me was Huawei. It was someone really high up at Huawei that spoke about their vision for AI. Right. And it was really interesting to kind of listen to what they were saying. I also think once you leave the US, you start to realize that the Chinese have made massive investments in infrastructure, not only from ports, but also 5G bases, Huawei phones, Huawei cloud. So I think it's interesting for people to also realize that when you expand beyond just the US and start to look at the global South, developing markets, whether it's the African continent, Latin America, or parts of Asia, there's, maybe the hardware that will reign supreme could be.
Yeah, I do think that there's
hardware.
There's a risk of a slip here because we are kind of isolated in seeing our major tech companies as global major tech companies. And while they are globally major tech companies, I don't think globally they're as big as we think they are, right? There's NVIDIA definitely is, right? Like that has
everyone needs NVIDIA chips.
Yep,
so
100%.
Anyone anywhere in the world is looking for the chips.
But when it comes to like Meta's not as global as we perceive it as. Certain apps that they make definitely are, but there's an entire side of the planet that really doesn't access Meta products like we do. And ByteDance is way bigger on another side of the globe than it is here. And it's just this weird infighting of like, how do we get these things? And when it's a piece of software, I kind of get it. When it's an app that resides on a phone, I do kind of get it. But when it comes down to like hardware, that gets a little strange for me because that hardware is all getting manufactured in the same places, right? It's now just global hardware trade negotiations, I guess. I would love to see some of the new Pico VR headsets make their way to the United States. Every time I go to AWE or a tech conference, I see them at a booth and I'm like, wow, these are great. But we don't have them. So it's just going to take time. Yeah.
All right. So I think we should go on break. And when we get back, we can talk a little bit about some gaming news from Fortnite players.
Sounds good.
And also, I want to talk about something else that I noticed. So let's go on break.
Are your ad campaigns lighting up the dashboard, but not the pipeline? That's bullspend, and marketers are calling it out in Dashboard Confessions.
My boss asked for results, so I opened my dashboard for the only positive-sounding metric I had: impressions.
Cut the bull spend. See revenue, not just reach. LinkedIn delivers the highest return on ad spend of major ad networks. Advertise on LinkedIn. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a $250 credit. Go to linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
This message is brought to you by Warner Brothers Discovery Advertising. And this is more than an ad. This is an invitation to be part of the stories the world can't stop watching, to connect with moments that dominate the conversation, to participate in culture, not just advertise around it. With the most sought-after IP, passionate audiences, and an advanced AI-powered foundation, WBD Advertising transforms attention into influence and impressions into outcomes. This is innovation. This is impact. This is opportunity. This is Warner Brothers Discovery Advertising. Visit advertising.wbd.com to learn more.
Business is booming. But you know what really helped? Xero, the accounting platform for small businesses. I used to think unpaid bills were just part of it. Ugh. But batch payments? Wow. Automated accounts payable? Even better. All in one place. That's a big one. And I can keep track from my phone while I get the job done. No bills in sight. What a life. Do right by yourself and your business and search XERO for your free trial. Conditions apply.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
All right. So before we get into some of the gaming news, I think I mentioned to you that my son was taking the high school placement test, and the book that he is doing this test on said human authored. Did I tell you that? I can't remember if I did.
Yes. Yep, you did.
Yeah, I think we brought it up. Well, I also was listening to some iHeartRadio podcasts, and I started to know, I didn't notice it before, so it might be new, but before the podcast, it says guaranteed human.
That's interesting. Okay, so you know ADM, the co-host. So he and I had at one point kicked around a screenplay idea because he's a writer and he's in video production and stuff like that. And it was a joke of kind of in the vein of like Spinal Tap or Best in Show mockumentary.
That's a favorite.
Something called Free Range Actors. And it was the whole concept of like these are live actors and we're supporting them. It was a very just like spin on this idea that how ridiculous will it be one day when you feel like you're doing really well for humanity by buying that movie ticket because it is a free range actor who is out there making their craft, right? This is, and we were making this joke like 3 years ago, and so you just come out and drop
guaranteed human authored. I was like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I have been temporarily duped in the past with podcasts that were AI generated. It takes a couple of minutes for it to sink in that, oh, this person's not saying anything of substance, and it flows to a point of confusion. Mm-hmm. It can generate the sound of a podcast for sure, but it cannot generate the cohesiveness. I don't know another way to say it. It's a really weird thing that kind of like got trendy and then I feel like fell off because it just wasn't really convincing.
I still use Notebook LM though. Like if I create like these little podcasts if I want to like learn something.
Do you consider that a podcast though? Because I'm talking about
it is a podcasty thing. I mean, it creates like an audio episode for you.
Interesting.
Like you put in, here are all my YouTube links. Here are all the articles. Take this and give me a 30-minute audio episode, podcast episode where I can learn everything I need to, like whatever.
Interesting.
And I do listen to the two voices talking. It's usually a minute.
Really? And it puts out something that's like actually cohesive
and like it's okay. It's not perfect.
Sure.
Right. Sure. But I think I've gotten so accustomed to it because it's like an easy way for me to kind of learn something. There's like a lot of stuff coming at me and then I just put it in, it creates like, it can create also like write-ups and all stuff, but I like the audio part because it's, I don't know.
Well, this comes on like the heel of, we wanted to talk about gaming, and Fortnite has kind of gotten into an interesting situation where fans are going into like worlds that have AI generated images, posters, things put into these worlds. Mm-hmm. And some of these are user generated. It's not necessarily like Epic or Fortnite, right? And they're not having a real positive reaction to this. You have Gen Alpha kids. I know Gen Z is becoming very adamant against AI slop. Mm-hmm. Can't blame them. I'm right there with you. Go kids, go. But there is a part of me that wonders if the next generation will be so born into it that they won't even consider it negatively. I don't know if it's just...
I don't know. I feel like they had a moment there with like the brain rot, like Italian brain rot. And
sure,
like there was a lot of stuff and it was like super fun. I don't think they find it as fun anymore, to be honest. I mean, I'm having deeper conversations with my kids,
right?
Especially the older ones, 15 and 13, So one of them is borderline Gen Z. But I was having a conversation with my son, who's an aspiring musician, as you know.
Right.
And he's doing piano, guitar. Now he's doing electric guitar and he's doing saxophone. And he was saying, like, for him, like, he wants to compose music. He wants to create things, like, but he doesn't necessarily want to use AI for it. He wants it to be a human created thing.
Well,
so I don't know.
That brings up a really interesting conversation I found myself in a lot in the last 2 weeks. And I do mean like this really kind of came out of nowhere.
And that's your world.
It's my world. So
yeah.
For those who can't see what is on my camera, I've got, 2 turntables back here, music samplers, tons of outboard gear. I've been a music producer for decades at this point. I've got some pretty good sized records in my discography. But as I talk to, a lot of it has come from pop and hip hop music. And hip hop has a long legacy of sampling other people's music. That is the birth of hip hop music. It was going back and finding jazz records or old soul records, sampling the breakbeats from them and making new music. And then it became this legal question of, well, what do you do at that point? And you have to get clearances, and it just became a thing. Now that's all, so far behind us that it's not even considered innovative anymore. But back then that was causing a lot of questions. The question I hear right now from music producer friends of mine are around the idea of what happens if you sample AI. I love this conversation because they are already trying to make this argument, and I don't think it holds up. It hasn't been challenged yet, but this is the question. So if you go to Suno, famous music generation tool.
It just raised a whole bunch of money, by the way.
Raised a ton of money.
Yeah.
And you generate some music. Now, that music that's being generated, this is the legal part that is in kind of question. A lot of that training came from other people's music to the point where you can actually hear it in the background of like, oh, I actually know where that kind of sound came from.
Really?
And it got reinterpreted. Oh, yeah, this is definitely a problem. And that's why Suno sounds so much better than like UDO and other ones that are out there. I think UDO is a perfectly fine tool as well. That's not a dig at UDO. They are just all training at different speeds. Next week, UDO might sound better than Suno. It just goes back and forth. So the question then happens, okay, if I generate, as a music producer, I'm going to generate a soul music sounding song that was done in the style of 1960s. Then I'm going to take that, and I'm going to put that into my music equipment and actually make a musical composition, right? I am not infringing on anyone's intellectual property. This is not a master from anything that, I don't have to get clearances because there's no artist behind it. Now, if I go to Suno and I download, and I use their free tier, right? You just sign up and I download something that they generated. They specifically tell you, you don't have the rights to that music. I don't know if that's true.
That's interesting.
Because this is the part that I can't get past is, okay, I understand why you don't want that to be true, Suno. But I don't know if that actually stands up legally, because we have a very specific statement in our copyright law that says for copyright to be enforced, it has to have human manipulation.
Yeah.
Beyond a prompt. So a prompt in your output of an algorithm to make an audio file does not constitute as copyright according to
this law. Yeah.
The way I've interpreted, I mean, I'm not a lawyer, so please don't take this as legal advice. This is the debate that's currently happening in the music industry of, I know you want me to pay for your tier, but you have Suno has a free tier that does generate full audio. So if I generate full audio, take that, chop it up into samples, and create a whole new human-based composition, which I think, that's just the history of hip hop, right? I don't really actually know what the legal ramifications for this is.
That's so interesting.
Yeah. Now, none of these things are watermarked, right? The audio is not watermarked. Tracing it would be really impossible. It would be very hard to do it. It would have to be something that is stated, by the artist themselves or the producer themselves. But yeah, there's a lot. I find this part of the conversation really interesting because now we're beyond the conversation of, do the AI companies have copyright infringement? And now we're back to the user of what happens when you, for lack of a better word, pirate AI generated content.
Pirate AI generated content. Oh my God. I did not have that in my bingo card. pirate AI-generated content.
I mean, it is such a cyclical argument because there's a level of irony for Suno to say, you don't own the rights to this, when I'm just like, yeah, but you didn't either.
Mm-hmm. Oh, gosh.
Like, you didn't own...
You didn't either.
You didn't either. So, no trust amongst thieves? I don't really know what you do here. Where do we go from here?
Oh, my gosh. Well, we're going to have to see. So I am heading out again, as you know.
Well, you don't stay in any place for too long. We all know that.
Well, gosh, I've been doing so much travel in the GCC Middle East region. So I'm in New York for 2 days, and then I'm heading back to the United Arab Emirates. This time I'm doing a whole bunch of keynotes. So many talks. It's crazy. I'm speaking at Bridge, which is the world's biggest media debut event. It is organized by the United Arab Emirates. I'll be there sharing the stage with everyone from Idris Elba, Priyanka Chopra, Gerard Piqué to Gary Vaynerchuk. I mean, so many folks. It's a pretty massive event. Alexis Ohanian will be there as well. So really excited about my keynote there. Then I'm also speaking at the Global AI Show, the Global Blockchain Show, and the Global Gaming Show. They're all those three are happening kind of in a similar area in Abu Dhabi. I'll be attending Abu Dhabi Finance Week and then going up to Dubai for meetings. So it's just, there's so much happening in that region. And December, this is what people don't understand. December, end of November, beginning of December is great weather over there, but it's also a big part of their planning. Like a lot of budgets, like a lot of stuff is happening there right now. So it's a great time to be in the region. Great time.
Are you doing CES this year?
Yes, I'm doing CES. I'm going to be heading there I'm hosting the closing panel for CES's AI House, which is focused on the new power block when it comes to AI. So the countries that are going to start to be more important in the AI space. So we got someone from India, someone from Arab Emirates, someone from KSA's Kingdom said Saudi Arabia, and obviously we're going to get someone from Asia as well, in Africa. So kind of thinking through how, the new power blocks are working with AI. I'm also moderating another panel on the future of fashion and wearables, and then doing another one on standards in XR. So yeah, I've been pretty busy at CES, scheduling meetings.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Scheduling meetings, demos, the demos, you get amazing fun demos. And I might be doing some really fun stuff with a humanoid robot as well. So you know me.
I know you.
Not a date though. This is not a date. So
we'll see.
No. I don't date females, and she's a female robot. So no.
Okay.
That does not count. That doesn't count.
That's
to each his own, but I'm not into female humanoid robots. So, but yeah, I've got there's so much coming up. I'm not doing Davos World Economic Forum. I'm not going this year. For anyone that's been, it's just logistically, it's so complicated to attend. I was just kind of what is, kind of weighing what works, what doesn't work. So no, I'm doing Bridge and then Global AI Summit, Global Blockchain Week. And yeah, it's a lot of stuff happening in the region. I'm excited though. Maybe we should meet at CES. Maybe we should go together.
That would be great. I can find my way down there. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I know we're doing TED. We're going to be at TED together in April in Vancouver, doing some live coverage, interviews, and also, hopefully doing some live recordings too as well. So
we definitely will be. Absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely.
For sure. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for the close of the year. I mean, it's been quite a year, I think,
It has been a year.
It has been a year. Intense, very intense. Yeah, and then we got one more episode, and then we're out for the...
And then we'll be out until the new year, I think.
Until the new year, yeah.
Until 2026.
That's exciting. It's exciting. I hope all our listeners have an amazing break. I think we all need a little break.
Yep. Spend time with family, relax, kick back, kind of unwind, decompress. Get ready for the next year, because it'll be equally a doozy.
I have a question for you, because I did most of I'm traveling, as I mentioned, so I don't get back till the 15th, and then I leave the 17th for Costa Rica with my kids. So I did most of my Christmas shopping already, and I did use AI to help me find the best deals. Are you using AI to do any Christmas shopping?
One of the things that our family's talking about heavily right now is, do we really even want presents?
Ooh, I like that. We're doing less presents this year.
Yeah.
I think the kids are older, so they want bigger things.
Right.
But they're also not asking for as much this year. It's interesting.
Yeah.
And it's not a financial thing. I think they just have so much stuff.
I think that's a big part of it, is
I feel like I have too much stuff.
And there's not a thing, there's not an it, right, that I think people are clamoring for right now. You have a couple of video game things that if you're a gamer, that's a big deal. But like if you step away from that, stuff might be incredibly hobby niche or something like that. But there's not the it thing you must get this year that's going to fly off shelves and you're not going to find. And I don't think anybody even wants a new TV, right? Like we're just kind of at this point where I kind of wonder what we all saw like, oh, Black Friday kind of maybe did record, but I don't think it did. I kind of think that's bullcrap. I don't buy it.
I'll tell you, like for my kids, my oldest daughter wants a rowing machine because she does crew. She said, that's all I want. Like, get me a couple stockings, like, my stocking stuffers, but she doesn't want anything much other than that. My son wants an electric guitar.
Totally.
So he's getting that. And then he's getting his first phone.
Oh,
for a real phone.
That's a big deal.
He has a stupid phone this year.
I want a stupid phone. I'll just trade him.
He has a stupid phone. You would not be happy. The film quality on this one is ridiculous. And then my little one's still little, so she still wants this toy and that toy.
Sure.
But it's easier with her. What we are investing in, I said, okay, if you guys don't want that much, then we're going to Costa Rica.
You're
Your part of your gift will be the trip. We're going to the beach. I do see at least my spending for Black Friday and Cyber Monday has been more on experiences.
Yeah.
So hotels.com had an amazing 50% off Black Friday. And I was like, ooh,
that's the thing I wouldn't have ever thought of.
Oh my gosh. I was like all over hotels. Thank you, hotels.com. Yeah, like experiences, that's where I was kind of like really trying to see who has a great deal here, who has a great deal here. So maybe people are spending less on like junk.
Yeah, tangible items.
And might be spending more on experiences.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
I want to give a giant shout out to my friend Charlie Melcher from The Future of Storytelling. His book, The Future of Storytelling. He sent me a copy. The book is out. It is amazing. I unboxed it recently. I want to have...
Wait, send that to me. I want to see that.
Oh, this is amazing. He's been working on this for a long time. And it's the next media renaissance. Like, it's just the work Charlie has been doing for years is truly mind-blowing. He's such an icon. We need to have him on the show.
Yeah, let's do that and send me a link because that looks
get him here.
Really interesting.
And I'm also reading, if people are looking for a book to read other than The Future Storytelling, I'm also reading David Brooks' How to Know a Person, The Art of Seeing Others Deeply and Being Deeply Seen. Wonderful book. Now more than ever with AI slop, with AI this, AI that, spending time with the people you love and really kind of like getting to know them and getting people to know you, I think is going to be even more important. So highly recommend those two.
Yeah, it's that authenticity that you talk about a lot. I think you're spot on for that.
And I haven't picked up the giant book. I needed a break.
I haven't started reading it yet, but on a suggestion from my brother-in-law, I picked up Dungeon Crawler Carl, which is like a series that's going huge. It's like 7 books at this point. But everyone I know has been so obsessed with this that they're like, oh, you have to, as for the type of media you like, for the books that you like, the books that you write, you're really gonna love this. And I'm just like, it's 7 books. I almost don't want to get in.
Would my kids like it? Like, what is it?
It does kind of seem like it might be a new adult, like so a little bit older than young adult, but not by much. So if they would have liked, I'm thinking, I haven't gotten deep into it, so I can't say.
Okay, so I'm not gonna go buy it yet.
So let me get a couple chapters into it. We'll see if it's age appropriate. But it does seem like it's kind of in the same vein as maybe Ready Player One. But
okay. What was the name again?
Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Yeah, one second. Hold on. It's right behind me.
I want to see.
Yeah, Matt Denman is where's my
I've
camera?
seen
There.
the book.
Yeah.
I've seen the book. I just never really paid attention to the name.
Yeah, there's like a whole series here. And my brother-in-law was like, you have to read this. So I said, oh, okay.
Okay.
I will.
I'm going to check it out for my kids. You know what gaming movie is about to come out too?
No, what?
Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
Oh, I did see
December 5th.
that. Yeah, I saw honestly, the trailer did look good.
It looks so scary.
I'm
thinking my son and his friends.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if it's going to be one of those things that like really grows up with their fan base and gets super dark.
It's a little like I was watching the trailer. I was like, oh my God, I feel scared.
I mean,
It's still Bloomhouse. It's just like.
Have you started the 5th season of Stranger Things?
No, I'm waiting for. I'm gonna watch it with my son. I can't cheat on him.
Yeah. No, I hear you. That's a series that has just matured with their fan base. This series, I mean, it gets dark, but it also still has its humor and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I did hear, and I think Netflix is brilliant for this, is that they're going to release the final episode in theaters as well, so you can go to a movie.
What a smart idea!
Yes.
I love that. What a smart idea!
I'm totally buying a ticket to do that.
Yeah, I could see everyone going, like wanting the kids. Like I could see that.
It's iconic. I mean, it is at this point 10 years of this series, and it's gonna wrap, and it's gonna be an hour long or like a movie length long final episode. Yeah, it's
what a smart idea. Yeah,
totally gonna go to that. That'll be a lot of fun. And with that, I just want to say thanks for tuning in Tech Magic, where we always invite you to come for the tech and stay for the magic. I'm Lee Keebler here with the incredible Cathy Hackle. Special thanks, as always, to Adweek for bringing this show to you. If you enjoyed today's episode, please leave us a review. Let us know your thoughts. We'd love to connect with you. Just search for Tech Magic, Cathy Hackle, or me, Lee Keebler. You'll find us. We'll be back next week.
Are your ad campaigns lighting up the dashboard, but not the pipeline? That's bullspend, and marketers are calling it out in Dashboard Confessions.
My boss asked for results, so I opened my dashboard for the only positive-sounding metric I had: impressions.
Cut the bullspend. See revenue, not just reach. LinkedIn delivers the highest return on ad spend of major ad networks. Advertise on LinkedIn. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a $250 credit. Go to linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
Business is booming, but you know what really helped? Xero, the accounting platform for small businesses. I used to think unpaid bills were just part of it. Ugh. But batch payments? Wow. Automated accounts payable? Even better. All in one place. That's a big one. And I can keep track from my phone while I get the job done. No bills in sight. What a life. Do right by yourself and your business and search XERO for your free trial. Conditions apply.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.